School closures impact Black and brown students in the city of Oakland. School closures and the privatization that causes school closures that siphons resources away from our students. We are in this circle to take a stand against police violence. I was horrified to see the images Wednesday of the violence from the Oakland Unified School District Police Department, authorized by the school board, authorized by the superintendent to use violence on peaceful protesters that represent the community, parents, students, and teachers who stand to say enough is enough. It's time to end school closures, and it's time to invest in our schools. First, I would like to bring forth Andy from Kaiser Elementary, and our students.
What did I do? Got it?
My name is Amy Hamyan, and I've been an OUS teacher for 26 years, currently teaching first grade. In all my years of teaching, which included 2 major teacher strikes, nothing has prepared me for the level of excessive police brutality that I witnessed and had inflicted upon me at the board meeting on Wednesday, October 23rd. I want everyone to know that those who participated in the Oakland Not For Sale movement, including myself, have never been violent or endangered the school board or anyone else in any way. And in fact, when Oakland Not For Sale took over the school board meeting on September 25th, protesters waited until the board left before sitting in chairs, and at the end of the meeting collected all the nameplates, put them away carefully, and cleaned the dais of paper and other garbage. The superintendent and the school board received the message that business cannot be done with these disruptions. When in fact, the board for the last 2 meetings have gone upstairs and conducted their meeting, turning away teachers, or as John Sasaki called them, site staff, who desired to be in the room, yet allowing district staff, notice the hierarchy, and charter school advocates. As I reviewed the footage of the extreme violence perpetrated by the police, directed by John Sasaki, I noticed Director Harris and Director Yee standing and watching the police violence erupt. They didn't seem concerned or scared for their safety, and they certainly didn't seem concerned that children, parents, and teachers were being traumatized and brutalized. The two sauntered off about 2 minutes after the police brutality started, and police continued their rampage, protecting by then an empty stage. I was charged by an officer, hit in the arm with the baton, and knocked down. The next thing I remember seeing is our volunteer librarian pull towards the stage with his legs stuck in the barrier. People were screaming to tell the police that his leg was stuck, but they didn't care. They continued to pull and drag. Children were pushed. Another parent has a cracked rib, and you'll soon hear from a parent that sustained even more serious injuries. Since this incident, I have asked myself, if this is the treatment I get as a middle-aged Asian woman, imagine how these officers criminalize students in school. Imagine how students feel to be watched, followed by armed police who have shown they lose their control in an instant. Oakland Not For Sale stands in full support with the Black Organizing Project People's Plan, which calls for the elimination of the Oakland School Police Department. And redirecting the police department's $6.5 million budget towards restorative practices at high-need schools. There has been no public apology Director Gonzalez at a community meeting. Director Gonzalez and Director A didn't even know the extent of the injuries suffered by their community. Really? Scheduling a conference call is too difficult? This is more evidence of the district's and board's negligence, incompetence, and complete disregard for the students and community, which the board members have sworn to serve. We cannot allow this standard of criminal behavior by the police, superintendent, and the board, and we will not stand for this!
So my name is Mona Trevino. I'm a parent advocate. I'm a public education activist and an OUSD parent. Do you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right, I'll try to speak loud. All right. So I'm an OUSD parent. I also have a 22-year-old who went through charter schools in Oakland. I worked at one of the charter schools that my son went to, and I committed to the public school system because of what I saw and I learned there. I saw that hundreds of Oakland children were being systematically pushed out or kept out. I was the school secretary and the parent coordinator, so I worked closely with families, some of whom I witnessed getting targeted and harassed because their child needed an IEP. The school would go as far as to call the police on parents who were advocating for services for their children. I knew these situations were happening all over Oakland, so I decided not to support that, and I put my younger son in the public system in Oakland. But the public system has been divested in for decades, and thanks to the billionaires who are investing in the takeover of Oakland public school programs are now being taken apart and destroyed at a much faster rate. I've seen this through the millions in cuts to public school sites for schools that are already underfunded. I've seen this through the expansion of charter schools that have moved on to public school campuses. I've seen this through the failed policies like the citywide plan that completely exclude public school communities in making decisions about our school programs. These acts are false solutions for our children and our communities. I stood with Luke's parents and students when they fought to be included in community-altering decisions, and families were ignored again and again. It's our right to demand inclusion in these decisions. Instead of including families and teachers in working on community-driven solutions, OUSD and the school board would rather call the police on us to enact violence upon us, just like the charter school that I worked at. So we're not going to back down when they perpetuate police violence on us and silence us. We will not sit back and watch while OUSD gives up on our children and our public school programs. I want to thank everyone for joining this fight for all of Oakland children. I especially want to thank Abby and Sylvia and Saru and Celeste and Octavio and all the mothers and fathers and grandparents and teachers and community who put themselves on the line to fight for our children. It's not up to the school board or the county or the state to make these decisions for us. These are our schools, our communities, and our decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
I'm here to talk about charter schools, so bear with me. Many of the budget issues that OUSD has are due to the number of charter schools that have a strong foothold on the school site in the city of Oakland. Charter schools are not like a public school. They get to pick and choose individual students into their school sites. They do not have to educate all the students, only the chosen few, which means charter schools have smaller school classes and higher teacher to student ratios, unlike the public schools. The majority of charter schools The majority of charter schools in predominantly Black and Latino neighborhoods, many of those lie within the districts of 7, 5, 6, 2, and 3. Due to the strong attrition of students to charter schools from ethnicities, all of the ethnicities in Oakland, beginning from 42% of African American students, 54% of Latino students, and 100 students of public school sites. Now let's compare that to other school districts. In the school district of Fremont, they have 35,000 students. They have one charter school. In the school district of Hayward, they have 21,000 students. The city of Hayward, they have 21,000 students.
That's good. It's on.
And they only have 2 charter schools. The San Lorenzo Unified School District, they have 12,000 students, 1 charter school. Alameda Unified, 11,000 students, 3 charter schools. San Francisco Unified School District, 54,000 students, and only 13 charter schools. The city of Berkeley Unified has 9,000 students and no charter schools. The problem in this district has nothing to do with the public school sites. It has everything to do with it being turned over to charters once they're closed.
Thank you. I would like to bring up a father here from the Oakland community, Mr. John Jones, to have a few words for us. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. The reason why I say it's good because this is what Oakland does. We do not remain silent in the face of violence and oppression.
Yes.
As Keith said, my name is John Jones III. I have the pleasure of serving as chair of the selection panel for the Oakland Police Commission. Why am I sharing this? Because at a time where the Oakland Police Department remains under federal review for nearly 2 decades, we are still witnessing clear examples of state-sanctioned violence. We can no longer afford to allow any decision maker here in Oakland to proclaim the values of our city, but at the same time show up as people like Donald Trump and Bull Connor. Most importantly, I am a father of a 5-year-old, my son Josiah, who's taking a nap. He goes to Horace Mann Elementary School. Unfortunately, I became a single father again when Josiah's mother passed away this year. I went to the school and I said, my son will be in need of therapy. I was told that there was only 1 therapist on staff with a waiting list. Meanwhile, outside of the school, there were 2 OUSD police cars and 2 police officers. My son does not need any law enforcement.
That's right.
What our students need is investment, counselors, therapists. I want to end on two important points. The first is this. There was a clear relationship between OUSD, charter schools, law enforcement, and this housing crisis. That connection has a name, Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown had a plan as mayor to bring in 10,000 affluent people into downtown. He also started the first charter schools here in Oakland. It is not a coincidence at the same time, that's when OPD became under federal review due to the brutality that was taking place in West Oakland. Do not let anyone trick you into thinking that these are separate issues. This is about our youth, this is about the future, and above all, this is about our values as a people in the region. My last point. The theme I'm hearing is open and close. They want to close schools. What they need to do is open their hearts and their minds. Right. If you want to close something, close the presence of police in our schools. If you want to close something, close the chapters that came straight out of the 1950s and 60s. Because what we see happening at school board is the same thing that was happening in Mississippi and Alabama. That is not okay. Instead of talking about closing, let's talk about opening. Let's open up opportunities for our young people. Let's make sure we open up our hearts and minds to pay attention to the things that we really need to pay attention to. But above all, let us always remain open to hope and to faith, and above all, justice. Because I'm seeing it here right now, and let us continue to build power and move onward. I want to bring to you Saru that has some words for us today.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes. Hi, my name is Saru. I am a parent of public school children in Oakland. I want to really recognize and thank the Black Organizing Project for their work over the last 10 years to get rid of school police out of our schools, because I'm living proof of what they'll do to people like me, so you can only imagine what they'll do to black and brown kids in our schools. So some of us started fighting when they started to try to shut down our school, and we had 4 demands. We said, there is going to be a ballot measure November 2020. It is absurd and ridiculous for any schools to be shut down at any time, but especially when the people of the state of California will have the opportunity to fund our schools once again next November. So there should be a moratorium on all school closures until November 2020. And the people of California have the opportunity to vote on refunding our schools once again, and doing it by having corporations that have not paid taxes for the last several decades on their properties, that they finally pay the property taxes that they are supposed to have paid for the last many decades. They owe the people of California, and they owe our children. That's number 1. Yeah. Number 2, stop the school to prison pipeline. And that means when you are about to spend as a county $75 million on a probation camp that currently houses 15 children for $75 million, and at the same time you are shutting hundreds of thousands of children out of their schools and driving them into the school to prison pipeline. Does that make any sense to you? No! We should be stopping any construction of any Camp Sweeney, and all of that money needs to come straight to the Oakland School District to fund public schools, not charter schools, public schools. And number three, we need to stop all new charter schools. The charter school agenda is being driven by outside billionaires, the likes of Betsy DeVos and Eli Broad. And I want to share something with you. My sister actually runs the budget office for OUSD and has been interacting with Eli Broad for a long time. And she tells me actually the real agenda of Eli Broad and Betsy DeVos and all of these folks is not just to make money off of charter schools, it's actually to get control of the teachers' pensions. And through control of the teachers' pensions, control every corporation in America. That is the true agenda. And that is why they are shutting down our public schools to replace them with corporate charters that are unaccountable and don't have unions. That is the agenda. And number 4, with a school board that are puppets to that charter billionaire agenda, we need to, yes, get rid of them, but we need oversight, public oversight of the management of funds, because clearly they don't know how to manage for shite. Their children. So we've had these 4 demands, and with these 4 demands, we have been singing, we have been chanting, we have been going to school board meetings with our musical instruments, with our guitars, with our song sheets, with our signs, with our banners. Those are the weapons that we have carried.
Yeah.
We have done that at 3 or 4 school board meetings, and when we walked in on Wednesday with our guitars and our musical instruments and our signs and our banners, we were faced with cops who had batons and guns and metal barricades in a public school board meeting with children present. So I ask you, who's dangerous? The people walking in with songs like "We Shall Overcome," or the police who have batons and guns, and the school board that directed them to attack us? So we walked in, and Stracy from Kaiser stood up with us and repeated our 4 demands. And we walked up to the metal barricades, And we refuse to be held back by metal barricades from speaking to our school board that's supposed to be representing us, the people of Oakland. And so yes, we got those metal barricades, but never for an instant did we expect to be attacked with batons or with violence. And so you heard Amy was attacked. She still has bruises on her arm. We have a parent with a broken rib. We have others with bruises. I have bruises. In my case, 4 officers threw me to the ground and smashed my knee and bent my arm all the way backward and applied pain compliance on my shoulder. I am 5'2" and I weigh 113 pounds. It does not require 4 police officers to throw me to the ground and detain me. They threw me to the ground and I started to scream that I was in pain. So their response was to lift me up by my arms and drag me along the ground, inflicting further pain on my knee, until they took me out to the corridor and dropped me on the ground where I continued to scream in pain, until they took me outside so that nobody could hear my screams and called an ambulance. And you can see from the picture that Stracy is holding, they then strapped me with metal handcuffs to the gurney with 8 straps across my body like I was Jeffrey Dahmer, taking me to the emergency room in custody. 3 police officers, 3 EMT, and multiple other people who all of you taxpayers were paying for waited with me in the ER for hours, joking with the triage officers, the triage of the nurse, that I had made it all up, that I was fabricating my pain. Until the doctor arrived several hours later, kicked them all out of the room, and said, "This is real," ordered x-rays and ice, and come to find that they tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus, requiring surgery and a 6 to 9 month recovery. I am debilitated, I am immobile, but I am not stopping. Nothing will stop us now. They shot themselves in the foot when they smashed my knee. They didn't know what they were in for. This is what they're in for, because it ain't going nowhere. But I'll tell you what hurts the most of all of this isn't actually the extreme pain in my knee or my shoulder. It's 2 things. 1, the fact that my 7 and my 9-year-old were standing behind me the entire time, screaming and crying at what they witnessed. That one of their friends was pushed by the police and that they will never forget, they will never be able to forget seeing their mother and her father thrown to the ground and treated in the way that we were treated. That's number 1. And number 2 is we may have broken knees and broken shoulders, but how many children have been putting up with this for decades with broken and crushed souls and broken and crushed bones and other parts of their body by a police force that should never be in the school system to begin with. We don't need a school system, we need our schools. We need our schools. It's got us, this is not actually just about a school system that decides and a school board that decides to sick police on parents and children and teachers. This is about billionaires that are trying to shut down our school system so that they can profit off of it. Let's be clear. So enough is enough. Absolutely enough is enough. And I hope you will join us in the chant that we created together. It goes like this. No school closures.
Oakland is not for sale.
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 Because we're not for sale.
Thank you. We stand with Oakland students and we stand with the Black Organizing Project. Here is Jessica Black and the Black Organizing Project, our last speakers for this evening.
All right.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Black, and I'm the organizing director of the Black Organizing Project, or BOP. We are an all-black grassroots organization made by the people, working for the people, and have been fighting for justice in our schools and communities over the last 10 years.
All right.
We are here today because, quite simply, enough is enough. The violence and police response we witnessed this Wednesday to community exercising their right to freedom of speech during the school board meeting was sadly not surprising. For years, we've gone to these school board meetings. We've gathered data. We've showed them the disparities in Black and brown students disproportionately being suspended, expelled, and arrested. As a matter of fact, at this point in time, we know more about Oakland Unified School District Police Department than the school board does. We are the ones who are raising critical questions. We are the ones who have been pointing out violation after violation. For years, our folks have stood up at the school board podium. We have given countless numbers of testimonies, of instances of trauma that this school police department has caused, and ultimately this school district, the school board, because they won't make the right decision. The decision to interrupt the school to prison pipeline and actually invest in the trauma-induced services, restorative justice practices, transformative justice practices that our folks need, that our folks are calling for. It has been made clear to us that the school district is not working in the favor of the people. But the school district does have an opportunity to redeem themselves. We are going to eliminate the school police department regardless. We're going to put all those things in our way. It just has to go. This instance on Wednesday, we hate that it happened. At the same time, we're glad that people are finally paying attention to what has been happening to our children for years. This is a daily experience. And as shocked as people are at the behavior of the police, imagine being a small child just throwing a regular tantrum, irritated. And the response is to call the police and 5150 you? That's ridiculous. For those who don't know what 5150 is, it's like a psychological call, like a mental health call. And they actually take you down to the mental health department to get an assessment. It's crazy. So for the past 50 years, we have seen economic, racial, and social assault on our community in order to suppress the voice and power of the people. We are all affected by this insidious anti-Black racism embedded in our public system. And this Wednesday was a direct example of that. We see the intentional push out of our people as gentrification sweeps the streets. We see that push out then followed by more police, hyper-criminalization, and less space and tolerance for our youth and families. We see prices of housing rising, making it nearly impossible for folks to live. We see the barriers across access to jobs that have forced our people into the streets. So we want to be clear. It's time to end the racial harms caused by the overinvestment in surveilling and policing of students and address the underinvestment in significant resources like counselors, after-school programs, nurses, teachers, salaries, and special needs services that lead to these complex issues like school closures and consolidation. Oakland Unified School District is the only district in Alameda County that has its own police department on top of multiple policing investments like security and relationships with the city police. Black and brown students for years are still disproportionately arrested, suspended, and expelled from our schools. Last week, Bob created something called the People's Plan. It is a comprehensive plan that tells the school district exactly how to eliminate school police. We wanted to deal with some of the things that some of the myths that people think that exist, like, oh, we cannot get rid of a school police department. Yes, you can get rid of the school police department. And in our demand, if you read our demand, it's very clear to help you not make the same mistake that you made approximately 10 years ago, which says, eliminate school police and no contracting at all with law enforcement agencies. That's what happened last time. They got rid of the police and then they contracted with the police department, and it was a violation of labor laws. So the police department can be removed. And so we are asking for people to stand with us. We're asking people to support us during this time as we're going to be continuing to push for the full elimination of Oakland School Police Department. We are asking people to support us and push the school board members in supporting BOP's The People's Plan. Thank you.
No justice. No peace.